and I expect to see a few more people. But this facility can hold 10,000, and so even though no nurse, no doctor, no police officer, none. Police officer, none. So we're in a context where it's quite in order for us to be
of those standards?
Yes. The chief medical officer told me that they had put you on a trial on Friday and Saturday the first 2 that some of them are teachers. Well, not all teachers are back because we resume school on a phase basis at all levels, primary and secondary and post-secondary, last Monday. And because we never really closed down, there's nothing for us to talk about opening up. We're waiting to see when the world opens up back. And we will just simply be there ready for everybody.
Okay, how big is an opportunity like this for St. Vincent and the Grenadines? We had Marlon Joseph from the SVG Tourism Authority who spoke quite eloquently, and it's as it relates to some promotional items on the weekend. But how big an opportunity is this for St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
It is a huge opportunity. I understand that you have a viewing audience estimated of over 100 million. No, that's a large number. I know most of those viewers are persons on the Indian subcontinent, but we have people in the United States viewing this, certainly all over the Caribbean because of Sportsmax. And there's a great interest. People are writing about it. People are talking about it, and because it's such a wonderful thing for us to see cricket first of this kind broadcast from a Caribbean country, in this case in Vincent and the Grenadines, provides exposure for the country, provides exposure for the players, and therefore the tourism ministry and the tourism authority clearly ecstatic about this. When people forget generally who made 50 in a 10-over game, who took 3 wickets or 4 wickets, they're going to remember that this happened first in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They're going to remember the picturesque beauty of our country, the way in which our people can organize an event of this kind entirely homegrown. I think all that would indicate that here there is an organized modern society, not only taking its rightful place at the United Nations as the smallest country ever to sit on the United Nations Security Council, which we currently do, but that we are taking leads in other important areas, this being one of them. So I think all of it comes together to the good image and good name and to the benefit of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
We know you want to enjoy some of the cricket, so we're not going to bore you too much more. But one final question, or that would have a follow-up to it. Do you have a favorite team and or a favorite player in the competition?
Well, I have favorite players, and I don't know about favorite teams. I'm clearly I like Keswick and Delon, and I like Obed McCoy, and I like the young batsman Hooper. I like Shallow. I like Gidron Pope and his younger relative, Fijon. They're good players. There's a young man who is very good in the field, and he bats well. He plays for Windwards. Dylan Douglas. So I across I like the Emperor of the Bifid group, Lyndon James, the South Rivers man. Hails from my constituency, so I represent in Parliament. So I have some favorite players, but it's good to see some of the youngsters stepping up to the plate and performing quite creditably in this kind of game, you know, the 10-over side, which is not an easy game to play, because in a 50-over you can both take it easy and time yourself well, balance it carefully. In T20, much less so. You have to really be on the lookout for not just the bad balls, but you just have to look out for balls which are within your zone to hit. But in this one, it's from the get-go. That means you have to have your eyes well attuned, brain-body coordination. It's an extraordinary test of a special set of skills. It's like a TV quiz. You know, you're bombarded with questions, and you have to know the answers straight off. That's the Emperor of Bifid. Oh. All right. But I am. You know, so you require special kinds of skill to excel in this. And even if you're a top flight bowler in shorter games like Keswick Williams. It doesn't matter where you make your reputation. If you drop it, and I've seen it, and he probably left shaking his head, that drop one within the zone. The youngsters will put their left foot down or they will lean back, depending on what it is. Of course, the next delivery, invariably, he gives the youngster pause for concern, which is all part of the subtle tussle in this game, which represents life and living.
All right, thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. That's the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We want to thank you for coming to our microphones, and enjoy the rest of the time you have and some lovely cricket.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I want to tell all my friends in the Caribbean, come and visit us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. After all your lockdown, come and spend some money here. And for our Indian brothers and sisters and those in North America, please come and visit.
Thank you very much. We're going to go back to our commentary team up in the Administrative Center to continue bringing you live coverage of Match 2, day number 8, the Botanical Garden Rangers against the Grenadine Divers.
So we are live here and we see that Asifufa, Captain Asifufa, his team Grenadines Divers are now on 15 for 2. He's on 8 not out, and batting with him is Wayne Harper on 2 not out. So far, the Botanic Gardens Rangers have restricted the scoring nicely, and they have picked up 2 key wickets as Abraham is bowling to Harper. See that restrictive line being bowled by Abraham. He is trying to stay just outside outside leg stump to Hooper. I'm not wanting him to get the use of his arms, but it's a dangerous ploy because it can backfire. There was no one really deep on the onside on that delivery. So the Harper was looking to get that one between the 2 men behind square on the onside. Disappointment in finding the fieldsman, and there's no run.
Well, they've been running pretty quickly between the wickets. They've been nudging and taking singles quickly, except there was a misunderstanding a while ago where it was Hooper who pressed the other batsman into a single that wasn't there, and they were lucky to have got off without losing a wicket. But they're measuring the bowling now. They're not taking any undue risks.
So the new bowler here, Botsy, is Romario Bibi. He has been bowling a lot from this end at the commentary booth. He has only had a few overs in the tournament from the Beckwith end. It seems to have not affected his performance that much. Although some persons would say they prefer a particular end here at this ground due to the difference in wind and slope and so on. But he is quite comfortable bowling from either end, and he has done fairly okay in the tournament so far.
Yeah, Bibi is a very tall right-arm fast bowler. Not maximizing his height because he falls away a bit on delivery.
And we see there a dismissal of Captain Asifufa, being adjudged to have gloved this one down the leg side to the keeper, higher and shallow. He looks rather disappointed. I don't know if he's disappointed in his dismissal or he's disappointed in the decision, but that's a very telling blow that has been struck here by the Botanic Gardens Rangers, here with the score now on 17 for 3.
Yes, it's a very simple wicket that the ball was short and lifting down the leg side, and he attempted to play it, and it's difficult from this distance to see if he touched it. The umpire thought he did, and he clearly showed that he didn't get a touch.
The new batsman is Shem Brown, who would be wanting, after a very good start to the tournament, to get back amongst the runs. He has been having a bit of a lean patch in the last few games, and the Grenadines divers need him to come to the party now. And that's a very good cut shot there. Earlier in the tournament and at certain points in his innings, he has been trying to put those short and wide deliveries outside the off stump through the mid-wicket area, and you saw him there making the adjustment. As we know, he can play that shot through the offside, and he has cut that one forward of point for 4. Nice shot there, bisecting the fieldsman.
He played that shot really well. He got on top of the bounce of that ball and got it between backward point and squarish cover.
Yes, and that one is a wide. Too wide there. That one pitched wide and it moved further away. And correctly judged there by umpire Golan Graves.
He tried to get the extra pace in that one, having just been struck for boundary on the offside. Tried to bowl it a little wider and put a little more pace into it, but he lost his control of it totally.
Slight change here to the field, deep point going out and the fine leg coming into the circle. And Shemri Horse is a shot that he ought to have played off that delivery.
Well, he appears to be losing his concentration, and so early in your innings, it's difficult to understand that. His first shot, the first delivery he played was very well played, and after that, he seemed to have lost his rhythm, everything.
And this one goes for 5 wides, not collected cleanly there by keeper Hiron Shallow, but a wayward delivery there by Bibi, if we are to be honest in our assessment. And that one eluded the attempt by keeper Shallow, and he went all the way to the boundary for 5 extras.
It appears that each time the bowler tries to bowl, put a little more, the extra pace into his delivery, he loses his line. That's about the 3rd time it has happened, and the 2nd or 3rd time in this over it has happened.
Again, he cuts that one through point, but with the deep point in place, he's restricted only to 1 run.
He loves the cut shot, and he plays it very well once he concentrates. It is when he loses concentration that's the problem.
And you can see that the same field is kept here for Wayne Harper. That one was full on leg stump, and Wayne would be disappointed with the fine leg up in the circle. I think he essayed a shot there where he was looking more to the square leg region and for more power, but if he had just gotten a little bit of bat on it and he had beaten Kimali at short fine leg, he would have gotten 4 runs for the taking.
Well, the batsman is I can't understand his approach at all, because he obviously can bat a bit. He's played too lovely off shots on the offside, giving himself room and getting the ball on the offside all along the carpet. And then every now and again he loses it and just makes a rash shot.
Yes, he seems to have a rush of blood every now and again. If he's able to curb that, then he should be able to play a long innings here and help his team to a score of some note, and that they would want to have to defend against the Botanic Gardens Rangers, as we see Kimali Williams coming into the attack for this over number 5, as this is the end of the power play. The Grenadines Divers are currently 30 for 3, and they would be aiming for a score of around 80 and 90 runs. They have a good bowling attack, and they will be hoping that they'll be able to defend such. Another good punch on the offside there by Shem, but he wasn't able to find the gap, and good feeling there by Captain Demba. A little bit to his right or to his left, and that would have sped away to the extra cover boundary for 4.
Yes, and in that shot, he looked at least settled down. Is a quite compact stroke. If he could only forget the tendency to attack without getting into position, he will achieve his aim of giving his team a good score.
That was a bad shot there by Wayne. That one was very wide off stump, and he elected to go through the onside. He was dismissed similarly in the last match, and he would be well advised to hit that through the point area, which is vacant. If he gets that square, there's a deep point, there's a single there for the taking, and if he gets it a bit forward of point or beating the short backward point, then he could get 4 runs.
The problem with cricket in the Caribbean, both at the local and regional and international level, is that the shot selection is very poor. And not that they can't do any better, but they just make rash shots.
And that one is a beauty. That one left him off the pitch, squared him up. It was almost a leg break. And I'm sure a leg spinner would have been proud of that delivery, because with the angle that Kimali is bowling from wide of the crease into the batsman, anything that straightens will be difficult to play.
Extremely good delivery. These two will have to concentrate and make a recovery for the team, because they've lost, 3 wickets already? 3 unnecessary wickets. It's still very overcast here at Arnoldville. Had some showers earlier in the match.
And there he gets 4 runs. That is where I think Harper should have hit the previous delivery, the one that beat him outside the off stump when he was aiming to hit it through the leg side. And there was Shem. He stood tall. He's quite a tall batsman, and he stood tall and punched that one nicely, and a slight misfield there by the fielder at backward point, and that raced away to the boundary for 4.
Yeah, Shem looks so much better a batsman when he takes his time, when he gets into position and he plays the ball on its merit. But every now and again he just tries and makes a rash shot for absolutely no reason.
So it's now 36 for 3. After 5 overs, they will be aiming for something in the vicinity of 80 runs or 90 runs. 90 may be a bit of a stretch, but they would definitely want 80 as a minimum to challenge the Botanic Gardens Rangers. And as mentioned before, they have a very good bowling attack, the Grenadines Divers. Nigel Small comes onto the bowling, and we have seen from him in previous matches, to the right-handers, he's tried to be quite tight to them, but he also gets a little bit of turn, which means that he can pitch it a little bit outside off stump and get it to turn onto the wicket. He missed out on that one there, but see, that one, he could have caught that one for 4.
Oh, he's perfected this shot. He gives himself room and punches it on the offside. Between point and cover. Plays that shot very, very well.
As a batsman, basically gave the indication that they almost took 2 of that last over. They were thinking of it. The captain switches himself into that hot spot.
And they're rotating the strike very well, taking the quick singles, just dropping the ball in front of them and getting the singles.
So it's 39 for 3. Loud appeal for LBW, and the umpire may have adjudged that one to be hitting him outside off, but it was very close. A very full delivery there from Nigel Small. Could call at 4 runs already. We know, as mentioned by you, Butsy, very early in the day, that when it runs down to this end in particular, it runs away very quickly. The top edge there by Wayne as he attempted to pull that final delivery of Smalls over.
Yeah, what we're seeing with the batsmen, each time they try to overhit the ball, they're missing the shots. Every time they play conventional cricket shots, they're looking so much better. And these batsmen must realize that, proper cricket strokes can also bring them really good runs while they're out there. There's no need to try and overhit the ball. The outfield is quite quick. So you just need to hit the gaps and runs are going to be flowing for you.
Yes, and that one is in the area that he likes. It's Shem, and that one is deposited into the Mike Finley pavilion. It's quite fitting that we have Mike Finley sitting here. That one went over wide long on for 6. He just went a bit too close to the batsman there, did Williams.
Now, that's the same shot we saw Shem. He attempted a few times already, but when he was ending up way outside the leg stump, which says that he was really looking to hit the ball too hard. That one, he stand his ground and really hit through the line of the ball, which is a lot more of a better shot at this moment.
And he plays another nice cut shot there to the man on the point boundary. So he follows up the boundary with a single, which is good cricket by Shem. So as he settles, we'll hope that he'll continue to take this approach as opposed to trying to overhit the ball as he was doing earlier.
Yeah, these two batsmen need to get that partnership going and keep the strike rotating. They need to get at least close to 90 here. This is really poor cricket by Harper. There is him attempting a pull shot, but get the ball back past the bowler. The man feeling Keswick Williams feeling at long on was very wide, and he was jogging the first run while Shem was tearing down looking for a second run.
Yes, not good there at all from Harper. And we could hear his teammates shouting from beyond the boundary, "Run, Barbie," as he's often called Barbie by those who know him.
But they're still very much in this game. They are at a stage where they can really launch a serious attack to the finish of this inning. They can finish this inning with some serious momentum. Then we will definitely see a score that is going to be competitive, because we know that the Botanical Gardens is missing the experienced Rommel Currency for this game. So they will be fancying themselves if they get a decent total on the board to defend it.
So this one now, you saw that they run the first one a little bit harder, but on this occasion he timed the ball much better So it went very quickly to Keswick, and they weren't able to get the 2 runs. But they are currently at 54 for 3 in this, the 7th over, the 8th over, 7th over. I am correcting. And it should mean that they will be well on target for a score in excess of 80 if they can finish well here. But see.
We're not going in divers, they do have a very good bowling attack with the likes of Obed McCoy and the experienced Asif Hooper. Both of them left arm, one left arm fast bowler and a left arm spinner. And they will be fancying themselves to defend anything in excess of 80 here in this cool, overcast condition here at the Annisvale playing field.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see if when Obed bowls, if he likes to bowl a few more deliveries, seam up, to see if you'll get that swing considering the conditions that we have here today. As Demba comes back in for his final over, 1 none for 7 at this time. So he has figures of 1.1 overs, no maidens, none for 8. Shem here will be looking to target straight, and maybe in the long on or mid-wicket era, those are the areas that he'll be targeting off the off-spinner. And Demba knows that, so he's not giving him that foolish length, you know, Shem would want to, as you can see him rehearsing a shot there.
The pace at which Demba is bowling, he will rather want to look to hit straighter through the line of the ball.
And they started a bit of a mix-up. The call was actually Harper's call, but having backed away to cut the ball, the balance of the batsman, he would not have been able to press forward very quickly after that to get going for his run, and Harper was very far down the pitch by that point. Luckily, he got back into his ground.
Yeah, Shem need to make sure he can finish up this inning with some impetus for the Grenadine Divers.
We heard it again there, you know, from outside the commentary box, Bobby Rodner, as they were expecting him to take 3 runs there of that last delivery. Seemed to be an inside edge there by Shem. He actually timed that pull very nicely, but the placement let him down. He hit it too basically flush and straight to the man at deep mid-wicket. In the gap, that would have been a show 4 runs. So they're getting deliveries which they can put away, but they need to make sure that they place them better.
You can see the feeler is pointing at the ground, and I'm wondering why, because that ball never leave the floor, you know. It was just a poor feeling. But I think Botanical Gardens, they are setting pretty good fields to these 2 batsmen. So even when they really hit the ball well and time it well, they are hitting the feelers, not hitting the gaps.
As we see, Bibi is coming now for the penultimate over. 60 for 3, they would want a minimum 20 of these last 2 overs to get to about 80. And if possible, a little bit more than that. And I think if they get closer to 90, they should be quite confident of defending. And if they get to 80, they will have the opportunity also still of defending this target.
Well, they can probably get to 90 if they're timing the ball properly, which they can do.
So taking some time to set the field here. The Gardens Rangers, the Botanic Gardens Rangers, as Bibi comes in for his first delivery of the 9th over. That's a good delivery there by Bibi, good length and around midland leg, and that restricted the batsman to one.
Well, they need to get to 90. It's going to be hard to get to 90 now, but they can do it. But they've got to keep their heads and play each ball on its merit.
That looks like a foul. I think Harper here would probably prefer that length from Bibi. He is although he's a strong cutter of the ball in particular, he would prefer to be driving the ball at this point. And if Bibi misses his length just that little bit, it would allow him to go through that area. That the bottom hand would come in a bit more at this time of the innings, and he can seek to find that gap between mid wicket and long on.
Bibi's got to drop his line a little bit back, not too much. It's pushes up too much. Six.
On a top edge there, it flew very far. I mean, that one surprised me for the distance that it got. But Bibi's a tall man, so with his height, when the ball bounces, it lifts off the pitch, and that may have aided it in spite of the fact that he's not a quick bowler, to get that far over fine leg, hitting the Dream 11 billboard. And Roxell will be cursing me at this point, because that was a sunset smasher. As they get two of the following delivery. My apologies to you, Mr. Roxell John.
But the approach is much better now. They're playing each ball on its merit. They're not looking for any big shots.
That was good feeling there by Keswick. They were contemplating the second, but he was always under control of that one, and by the time he picked it up, he was not that far outside the 30-yard circle, which meant that his return didn't have far to go.
That shows the importance of attacking the ball when you're fielding.
And that's 6 runs. By Shem, that's a good shot. That takes him to 29, and Harper is on 28, and they are now at 80 for 3, so they're looking like that 90 runs boxing.
Now, I can tell you, the batsmen definitely were able to set themselves for this over, because at no stage in the over did Bibi try to do something different. His intention was to look to bowl as full as possible. He never changed his pace, he never changed his length. So the batsmen just set themselves and waiting for him to miss his length, miss that Yorker length, and they were ready to pounce on it. So this was too predictable by Bibi, and a very poor over. And for the Botanical Gardens at this stage of the game, they would have been expecting someone of Bibi's experience to be looking to mix up his pace, as you see the likes of Ray Jordan and Obed Mako, even Keswick Williams, usually come at the back end of the innings and do bowl a lot of Yorkers and mix it with their slow balls.
So Keswick will be bowling the final over, as that penultimate over went for 20 runs. So they are well on target to get around 90, which we think will be a solid score. But I think first here with their bowling lineup.
We were saying that they would have been looking for 20 runs in the last 2 overs. They've gotten that in 1 over. So let's see how they're going to finish this. Keswick will be a little bit more of a challenge to get away like they did against Bibi.
Yeah, that's plumb. Yeah, he got that one a full toss around middle and off, and he was looking for that big shot. His eyes lit up, but he missed it. And once you miss that line and that length of a delivery, then obviously you're going to be a little bit.
Now Harper will be very disappointed missing that full toss. It was a normal pace delivery that he really should have been looking to hit straight back over the bowler's head for even 6. But his head was in the air, looking to hit it somewhere over square leg, which was not the ideal stroke for that delivery. He should have been looking to hit that ball straight back on the side screen behind the bowler.
And the new batsman is Richie Richards. And he's yorked. Very good delivery there by Keswick Williams. Pitching just around middle and leg and hitting around the base of those stumps, around the batsman's crease. That one pitch, very good yorker, and that defeated Richards there. And he's turning it on here in this last over is Williams.
Now that was a very difficult delivery for Richie Richards to receive as he faced up to his fourth delivery. Now, as I said earlier, Keswick will be a bit more of a challenge in terms of what we saw in the previous over against Bibi. He perfect his Yorkers a lot better, but he also have a very good slow ball that he mixed well with those Yorkers. So a very good start to the last over by Botanical Gardens, but I'm sure in his last 4 deliveries, the Grenadine Divers will still be hoping to come out with some runs to add to the 81 that they have on the board at the moment.
So his brother, Shem's brother Braxy, now joins him at the crease.
And Keswick is on a hat-trick. Keswick is on a hat-trick here at the moment.
So we may be able to see the second hat-trick of the tournament. He never looked like he was going to catch that delivery, that one Abraham. From my vantage point, it seems that he's a fielder who is there. That's 4 runs. It landed inside the boundary. As we see a change in signal from Graves. But on that one, Keswick defeated Brown with the slowness of that delivery. It went very high in the air. And the fieldsman was circling under it, but he never looked like if he really was confident under that one.
Now, this is what we call adding insult to injury. And that was his hat-trick, you know. And not only did he drop it, it went for 4. And good work there by wicketkeeper Shallow, hitting the stumps with his glove on. But Shem didn't look as though he was looking for that run from the start. He should have been tearing down from that ball past his brother, the striker, to get on strike, because he will want to face up to at least the final 2 deliveries in this over. So this was not smart cricket by Shem. He was not alert and looking for that single to get himself on strike to finish off this inning.
Yes, and he was a set batsman already. Yeah, he was already on a nice score, and he's replaced by his brother Braxy, who partners his other brother Razin. All right, so he gets a bit of baton to that and turns a strike over to his brother Razin. As we said, there are 5 Brown brothers in the competition. 3 of them on the Grenadines Divers, 2 of them on the La Soufrière Hikers, who were in action in Game 1. And we see the 3 brothers here featuring in this same over, as Keswick will look to finish on a high here. only was that dropped, but he got 2 runs to short third man. 2 runs to short third man. And that was really careless cricket by the Botanical Gardens Rangers. And I mean, they would so many experienced cricketers on that side. They should be really, really disappointed. I want to use a different word from disappointed, but my vocabulary is eluding me at this point because I'm quite upset with what just took place.
Now this was a mixed over, you know. Some very ordinary attempt at catching by a couple of the Botanical Gardens guys, and I'm sure Keswick, who so far has led this Botanical Garden attack really well in the last 3 or 4 matches that they would have played, will be very disappointed that he's not coming off the field with at least 2 more wickets than he should have had. But nonetheless, it's a very good score on the board. It's runs on the board, and I'm sure that the Grenadine Divers, they're going to be backing themselves to defend this. But the Botanical Garden team, they're going to be fancying themselves to overhaul this total. So I think we are in for a very good finish to this second match here today.
Yes, so the Grenadine Divers have finished their innings on 87 for 6. When we come back, we will have the chase for you and see how the Botanic Gardens Rangers reply to this score. Remember that this is the VPL T10 cricket, our flavor, our vibe, and it is brought to you by the St. Vincent and Grenadines Cricket Association Inc. and our special partners Dream 11, Sportsmax, Populous Global Solutions, Digicel, Fancode, and of course our friends at ITFX SVG. We now take a short break.
Our flavor, our vibe, pulsating through the atmosphere. And when the stadium comes to life, you can feel it everywhere. One by one, they're marching out, ready for the back affair. One by one, they're marching out, yeah. Hey, Grenadine Divers, Botanical Garden Rangers, Black Explorer.
Shallow will be looking to put a lot of pressure on Richie Richards here. He's not one of the main bowlers, but Shallow will be looking to put some pressure on him only.
A single taken, and I was saying before this innings, Shallow had scored 175 runs, the highest of 44, and at a strike rate of 153. Atticus Brown coming into strike now. He has not had a pretty good season with the bat. A single to Atticus. Score moves on to 9 for 1. Brown so far in the tournament, pretty lean, 35 runs. At an average of 8.
को कैच भी करा। फिलहाल जो है डेम्बर बल्लेबाजी करने, जी हाँ दोस्तों, केनेथ डेम्बर जो है वो बल्लेबाजी करने आए हैं। 2 विकेट गिरने के बाद रिची रिचर्ड्स ने जो है लगातार 2 विकेट, माफ़ करिए 1 विकेट इस ओवर में लिया और बहुत ही शानदार गेंदबाजी मैं कहूँगा, बिल्कुल भी रूम नहीं दे रहे हैं। मैं कहूँगा अभी तक के सबसे बेस्ट गेंदबाज जो मुझे अभी तक इस मुकाबले में कोई लगा तो वो रिची रिचर्ड्स है, क्योंकि बिल्कुल भी बल्लेबाज को रूम नहीं दे रहे थे बड़ा शॉट खेलने के लिए। स्ट्राइक रोटेट कर लिया है। भाई कौन सी टीम जीतेगी? गौतम भाई मुझे लगता है कि रेंजर्स की टीम इस मुकाबले को जीतेगी, बट अभी जो कंडीशन है, अभी जो सिचुएशन है उसके अकॉर्डिंग जो है ग्रेनेडाइंस की टीम जो है भारी पड़ रही है। ग्रेनेडाइंस डाइवर्स की टीम रेंजर्स की टीम का, क्योंकि शुरुआती प्रेशर जो है वो उन्होंने बना दिया है। बट देखते हैं आगे चल कर के किस प्रकार जो है प्रेशर को हैंडल करते हैं रेंजर्स के बल्लेबाज और यहाँ पर पारी खेलने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो बहरहाल यहाँ पर ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में जो है हेलमेट को उतार दिया है। अभी जब एक गेंद जो है हेलमेट के बिना सर पर लगेगी तो सारी अकल जो है वो ठिकाने आ जाएगी बल्लेबाज की, जितना बड़ा जो रिस्क वो ले रहे हैं। साकिब जी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग अस। 80 रनों की और ज़रूरत है यहाँ पर रेंजर्स की टीम को इस मुकाबले को जीतने के लिए। एक बार फिर से आप सभी लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट है कि जरा वॉचिंग आप लोग मुझे बता दें, ताकि जो है मुझे प्रॉपर इन्फॉर्मेशन पता चल जाए कि आखिर कितनी वॉचिंग जो है फिलहाल अभी चैनल पर आ रही है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं मात्र 51 जो है वो दिखा रहा है। तीसरी ओवर की पहली गेंद बहुत ही शानदार तरीके से यहाँ पर डिफेंड कर दिया है। पहले ही जो है मूड बना लिया है कि अब इस गेंद को डिफेंड करना है या इस गेंद को मारना है, जिसकी वजह से जो है दिक्कतें बहुत ज़्यादा यहाँ पर फेस करनी पड़ रही है बल्लेबाजों को। अंदर आती हुई गेंद, इस गेंद को जो है कवर की रीजन में खेला है, लेकिन टेक्निकल इशू की वजह से जो है 246 वाचिंग। थैंक यू सो मच मैनेजर अंसारी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका अंसारी ब्रो। अगर आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्लीज़ चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर ले अगर आपने अभी तक नहीं करा है तो। फिलहाल 2 ओवर 2 गेंद हो चुके हैं, स्कोर जो है 9 रन बना हुआ है 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। स्कोर कार्ड अपडेट करो, काफ़ी सारे सवाल आ रहे हैं, तो गाइस स्कोर कार्ड जो है वो मैं अपडेट नहीं कर सकता है, रियली सॉरी ब्रो, क्योंकि जो भी ब्रॉडकास्टर है वहीं पर से स्कोर कार्ड की अपडेट आ रही है। ये तो वाइड हो गया, अंपायर ने भी इशारा कर दिया वाइड का। ऋषु कुमार बोल रहे बहुत अच्छी कमेंटेड, थैंक यू सो मच ऋषु कुमार जी। सुजीत जी आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। गाइस आप लोगों से बस एक रिक्वेस्ट है, प्लीज़ यार चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर ले। 1000 जो है वो आज पूरा कर देना है हम लोगों को, तो आप लोगों से बस रिक्वेस्ट है, आप लोगों का साथ चाहिए। बहुत बढ़िया रनिंग बिटवीन द विकेट यहाँ पर, और जितने भी फील्डर्स हैं उनके बीच में कोई भी जो है अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं थी। 2 ओवर 4 गेंद के बाद 14 रन स्कोर हो गया 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। एमडी सोईबू जी ने जो है अभी अपडेट दे दी है। एमडी आतिक जी बोले बैड कमेंट्री, ओके ब्रो नो प्रॉब्लम। और ऋषु कुमार जी बोले कौन जीतेगा भाई? कहीं मुझे लगता है कि रेंजर्स की टीम इस मुकाबले को जीतेगी, यानी कि जो टीम में बल्लेबाजी कर रही शायद वो टीम इस मुकाबले को जीत सकती है अगर अच्छी बल्लेबाजी करी तब, क्योंकि यहाँ पर गेंदबाजी जो है डाइवर्स की नाइस कमेंट्री ध्रुव राज सिंह जी कह रहे हैं, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाई आपका। यहाँ पर एक बड़ा शॉट खेल दिया है डीप मिड विकेट एरिया में, लेकिन फील्डर वहाँ पर मौजूद है, तो दौड़कर बस एक ही रन कंप्लीट कर पाएंगे। स्कोर हो गया बढ़कर 15 रन 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर, 1 ओवर माफ करिए 2 ओवर 5 गेंद के बाद। बाला दंगे जी बोल रहे हैं ग्रेनेडाइंस विन, देखते हैं ब्रो क्या हो पाता है। 2 ओवर 5 गेंद और यहाँ पर एक बार फिर से बड़ा शॉट खेलते हुए देखते हुए इनसाइड आउट शॉट खेला है, बहुत ही शानदार छक्का। अंपायर ने जो है 6 रनों का इशारा कर दिया है, तो स्कोर जो है आज बढ़कर हो चला है 21 रन 3 ओवर की समाप्ति के बाद। भाई इनके लिए भाई क्या है कोरोना हार्ट बीट भाई, वहाँ पर जो गाइज ये जो कंट्री है विंसेंट, आपको पता होगा वेस्ट इंडीज का एक कंट्री है, तो वहाँ पर जो है कोरोना के काफ़ी कम केसेस आए हैं, जिसकी वजह से जो है वहाँ पर फिलहाल जो है इस लीग का जो है आयोजन किया गया है। देवी प्रशांत अग्रवाल जी बोल रहे हैं वेरी गुड कमेंट्री, थैंक यू सो मच। शुभ मजन जी बोल रहे हैं गुड, थैंक यू सो मच। भाई आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट है कि प्लीज़ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर ले, अगर आप लोगों को मेरी कमेंट्री बिल्कुल भी थोड़ी सी भी अच्छी लग रही है तो प्लीज़ चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर ले, एक रिक्वेस्ट आप सभी लोगों से। 3 ओवर की समाप्ति हो चुकी है, स्कोर हो गया 21 रन 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। ऋषु कुमार जी देवी प्रशांत अग्रवाल जी बोल रहे हैं गॉर्जियस, थैंक यू सो मच। बहरहाल चौथे ओवर की पहली गेंद पर यहाँ पर फिर से उमर अकबल जो है बल्लेबाजी माफ करिए फील्डिंग करने आ चुके हैं, और वहाँ पर एक बार फिर से मिस फील्डिंग जो है वो देखने को मिल गई फील्डर के द्वारा। ओके भाई, थैंक यू फॉर इन्फॉर्मेशन, थैंक यू सो मच हार्ट बीट भाई। यार आप लोगों से रिक्वेस्ट है प्लीज़ चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर ले, एक ही रिक्वेस्ट मेरी आप सभी लोगों से। तीसरे ओवर चौथे ओवर की दूसरी गेंद लेकर आ चुके हैं, एक बार फिर से पैरों पर गेंद थी, जिसको अगर ना छेड़ते तो ज़्यादा बेटर रहता, वाइड होती तो एक और एक्स्ट्रा गेंद वहाँ पर हमें देखने को मिलती, लेकिन नहीं, बल्लेबाज ने तो भाई इनके प्लेऑफ्स कब होंगे भाई, इनके प्लेऑफ्स जब लीग मुकाबले खत्म हो जाएंगे तब इनके प्लेऑफ्स जो वो हमें देखने को मिल जाएंगे। एक बार फिर से पैरों पर गेंद, जैसा मैंने आपको बताया मुझे अभी तक के सबसे बेस्ट जो गेंदबाज है वो रिची रिचर्ड्स लगे, क्योंकि बिल्कुल भी ये जो है बल्लेबाज को रूम नहीं दे रहे हैं। ऋषु कुमार जी भाई मैं कमेंट्री घर पर कर रहा हूँ और आई थिंक अच्छा उसके अकॉर्डिंगली बात करें तो फिलहाल यहाँ पर जैसे बात करते हैं गेंदबाज रिची रिचर्ड्स की, गाइज बहुत ही इफेक्टिव, बहुत ही मैं क्या कहूँ बहुत ही अच्छे गेंदबाज है मैं कहूँगा। देख सकते हैं बिल्कुल भी रूम नहीं दे रहे हैं यहाँ पर। ऋषु कुमार जी 29 31 या फिर संडे को इसका फाइनल आई थिंक ये होने वाला है, 31 को इसका फाइनल जो है आपको देखने को मिलने वाला है। प्लेऑफ से जितनी भी इन्फॉर्मेशन होगी वो आपको अगले स्ट्रीम पर जो है देखने को मिल जाएगी। 3 ओवर 4 गेंद के बाद स्कोर हो गया है 25 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर, माफ करिए 26। एमडी सोबूज बिल्कुल भाई 26 हो गए हैं। तो बहरहाल यहाँ पर जो है ओवर की समाप्ति होती हुई 4 ओवर समाप्त हो चुके हैं, स्कोर हो गया 26 रन 2 विकेट के नुकसान पर। तो गाइज इसी बीच आपसे मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूँगा, अगर आप लोग कुछ चाहो तो पेटीएम फ़ोनपे या फिर गूगल पे से सपोर्ट कर सकते हो, नंबर जो है आपकी स्क्रीन के ऊपर है। अगर आप चाहते हो कि आपको ऐसे ही लाइव अपनी कमेंट्री में मेरी तरफ से आपको देखने को मिले तो आप चाहे तो सपोर्ट कर सकते हो, ना चाहे तो नहीं कर सकते हो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है। लिए आप सभी लोगों से 2 रिक्वेस्ट है, पहली तो चैनल सब्सक्राइब कर ले, और दूसरा अगर आप चाहे तो आप लोग पूछना चाहूँगा भाई पेटीएम किस पर करें भाई, जो नंबर आपकी स्क्रीन के राइट साइड में जो है ऊपर दिख रहा है लेफ्ट साइड में, वहाँ पर से आप कर सकते हैं अगर आप चाहो तो, नहीं चाहो तो कोई प्रेशर नहीं आप और पंकज जी हाँ भाई करूँगा बिल्कुल पंकज जी, तो कर सकते हो आप 7301351484 पेटीएम फोन और ऋषु कुमार जी, सुजीत जी, घनश्याम आर्य, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाई आप सभी लोगों का। तो 5वें ओवर की पहली गेंद तक स्कोर सैलो जो है वो फिलहाल स्ट्राइक के ऊपर है, 17 रन बना लिए उन्होंने। और बात करते हैं केनेथ डेम्बर की, तो वो 7 रन बनाकर बल्लेबाजी कर रहे हैं, और ये काफ़ी कहूँगा, क्योंकि गेंद जैसे ही कीपर के हाथों में पहुंचती है वो अपना इशारा जो है वो दे देते हैं। 4 ओवर के नुकसान पर। भाई लाइव को स्लो लगता है। ओके भाई, देखता हूँ लाइव स्लो है कि नहीं। नहीं भाई, लाइव जो है प्रॉपरली जो है रूम नहीं दे रहे हैं। 404 वाचिंग। अभिषेक विकेट के नुकसान।
Fine leg boundary, one more.
A rush shot, he's going to be looking to bat through this inning. A rush shot, he's going to be looking to bat through this inning. To bat through this inning.
What is good though is that they are rotating the striker and scoring off of pretty good deliveries.
This is what is required at this stage for the next couple of overs. They need to be rotating the strike, pushing the first run hard, looking for the second, and when the bad ball comes, they try and put it away because they wouldn't want to lose another wicket or two at this moment.
This is Kyle, another opportunity. Alex Samuel is under it. He drops it. To shallow. The score moves on to 32. This could be a big miss in the scheme of things, but see.
Now this is a big opportunity there for the Grenadine Divers to see the back of Hiram Shallow. I think that was a slow ball that Hiram Shallow was through the shot way before the ball arrived.
And this time he chops on.
Yes, and a really good delivery. Delivery, one of those hallmarks delivery right on top of the arm stump and gets it the inside portion of the edge of the bat, and Shallow plays on. He's dismissed. And not much longer after, Obed McCoy got a wicket.
I think Alex Samuel will be very relieved at this point. He'll be the happiest man on.
अभी भी जो गाइज 55
because had they gone on to lose this game with Hiram Shallow batting through the inning, I don't think Alex Samuels would have been coming to the dressing room. He would have been asking one of his teammates to bring his gear on the other side for him. But this is good bowling by Obed. He was very disappointed. I think that might have been his 6th catch. Also dropped for the tournament. He has been very unlucky. But he was able to keep his head cool and use his slow ball again. Shallow there looking to run that one between point and down to third man. That one being the slow ball from the back of the arm, which is more or less like a Chinaman. You could see that one came back into high and shallow a bit and cramping for room and hitting the inside half of his bat and onto his stump. And Grenadine divers, they were certainly elated to see the back of high and shallow.
Razim Brown comes in and very, very early in his stint, he's getting a really good delivery. It's shortish of a length and rising just above the handle of the bat. And Demba had to take that one off, the bottom hand off. But the single was taken 33. It's 33 for 2. We are into over number 6. 55 required. Over 11 runs per over.
Now we see Keswick Williams coming to the crease. He's a very capable batsman, and I'm sure that they will still believe that they are in this game.
Williams is scored with a magnificent Yorker. This has been an excellent display of bowling by the Brown brothers. In this case, Razim, I think he got this right on the mark, Butsy.
Now, in the previous inning, when Richie Richards came to the crease, we see Keswick producing a tremendous Yorker, leg stump Yorker that dismissed Richie Richards. And we mentioned that it's not the type of delivery you want to get when you just came to the wicket. And we see Keswick now getting a taste of his own medicine as a young Brown, Razim Brown, getting on one well on target, and Keswick had no answer to that magnificent delivery by Brown. What a good piece of bowling, indeed.
Yes, and Brown has been able to execute that lead on numerous occasions throughout the tournament, and he'll be very happy that at a key point in a key game that he has been able to dismiss a dangerous batsman with that length.
I do agree, and I think he's been one of the hard bowlers operating in the tournament to actually get away and continue to work well. Third delivery almost on the same spot. This time just a little back of the length there and asking question.
I understand that you're going to join us in the final.
It's now required from 23 deliveries. 44, correct? From 23 deliveries. So, Dr. Shallow, what have been the highlights of the tournament for you so far? With the limited time you may have been able to watch.
Yeah, Roxel, I mean, I've watched quite a bit of the cricket, you know. I was particularly impressed by Alex Samuel, you know, younger players. I saw O.J. Matthews, I think, yes, they played some excellent shots. You know, what I've seen in this tournament.
Oh, they could have seen the extra effort there. And this is what we've been seeing all tournament by the Brown brothers. The ability to vary what they offer to the batsman. You really cannot decide or know what to expect in the next delivery.
Yeah, but what I've seen is, you know, players who probably, you know, not the Keswick Williams, not the Sonny Lambris, and they have really capitalized on this opportunity, the exposure. and I think that most of them, would be quite proud of what they, with the, the skills that they have displayed, and I have no doubt that going into the semi-finals tomorrow and the finals, they will be looking to to even play much better, to perform much better than they have even over the last few days, and grab whatever opportunity, whether it is scouts who are looking on for CPL and other tournaments across the world.
All right, 41 from 21. That's the target for. This is coming up here. It's gonna go all the way over long on for a sunset smasher. This is Kenneth Demba, and he is getting the goal going really, really hard for the Botanical Garden Rangers. Doc, any surprises? Well, I think you probably preempted that, but any further surprises in terms of players coming to the fore?
No, I'm a little surprised though that
that's a French, even if it's called a cut, a French drive.
The French cut.
A French drive, because he was driving to long off, and it went down to fine leg. 4 more, 31 needed off 19.
Yeah, one of the surprises for me is that Fort Charlotte Strikers haven't done better, because they have an excellent team with Kieran Katoy, who has starred in the CPL and so on. So I'm a little surprised that team has. Excellent. People are really happy.
मैं हूँ और
I mean, I could say that Vincentians abroad are particularly proud that we were able to come up with this sort of production.
Razim Brown again, a really good delivery, short and rising over the head of Abraham, who was trying to pull that somewhere behind square, made no contact. Diamond delivery, extremely important in the context of things. 31 required of 17. We're going to look at another delivery before we have the president again giving us a few more comments. Down in that area where it's so difficult to score, but coming away with fun. 30 of 16. Dr. Shallow, you will be pleased to note that last evening, a TV broadcasting company in Barbados had highlights of yesterday's play for about 3 minutes on their sports package.
Yeah, I might have to reach out to see what commercial opportunities are there for that. I'm sure Paul right now will be thinking,
Oh my word! This is a magnificent sunset smasher. This is probably one of the straighter ones, and since Demba has come to the wicket, he has really batted well.
Yeah, and as I mentioned Paul there and Roxelle, I just want to thank ITFX, for the work that they have done. Almost new in this domain of cricket. And what I've seen from them from day one until now, day 8, I mean, it has been tremendous, and I'm sure that they really appreciate the experience. And going forward, we look forward to having them on board in terms of, producing and broadcasting cricket across the globe.
Did you just say ITFX, SVG?
ITFX.
Okay, just making sure. Let's take this ball in while that soaks in a bit. Really good delivery again, pitching and coming back into Demba. But as Butsy so eloquently alluded to, Demba seems to be really a good player of pace bowling.
Well, what you have noticed from him is that he's captaining today, and he would want to lead from the front in his approach, and he has been stroking the ball very nicely, and that shot over Razim's head was a sign of such. That was not a half volley by any means.
This is not a half volley, but it's going to go into the mid-wicket boundary for a sunset smasher. Kevin Abraham joins his captain, noted today, and they now 17 from 13 deliveries. Dr. Shallow, we have had Wallabu Wednesday. Today is Fantastic Friday. Let me make.
Where's the music? Well,
this is what I was just about to, after this delivery, I'll clarify. Trying to drive this one again. Fantastic Friday, yes, but not the one that you love so much. I know you love Fantastic Friday, which we have in St. Vincent, and
और एक बड़ा शॉट खेलने की कोशिश डीप मिड विकेट के एरिया में, बाउंड्री को कवर करेंगे। एक और छक्का यहाँ पर हमें देखने को मिलता हुआ। कुणाल भाटिया जी भाई, लगता तो है कि चेंज हो जाएगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं एक और छक्का लग गया। स्कोर हो गया 71 रन, 7 ओवर 5 गेंद के बाद स्कोर हो गया 71, 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर। अब बस 17 रनों की ज़रूरत है। देखते हैं क्या यहाँ पर 12 गेंद में 17 रन बना पाते हैं कि नहीं। बोटानिक गार्डन रेंजर्स की टीम के दो बेहद ही आक्रामक बल्लेबाज, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार इन्होंने पिछले 3 गेंदों में 13 रन बनाए, वो बेहद ही काबिल तारीफ़ है और काफ़ी प्रशंसनीय भी है मैं कहूँगा। बैटिंग टीम बिल्कुल समीर जी, बैटिंग टीम जो इस मुकाबले को जीत सकती है। 7 ओवर 5 गेंद, स्कोर हो गया 71, 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर। 17 रनों की और ज़रूरत है, आपको ये 16 रनों की और ज़रूरत है बोटानिक गार्डन रेंजर्स की टीम को इस मुकाबले को जीतने के लिए। 8वें ओवर की अंतिम गेंद लेकर आ चुके हैं एक बार फिर से ब्राउन, और यहाँ पर फुलर लेंथ की डिलीवरी थी जिसको लॉफ्टेड शॉट खेलना चाहते थे। ऊपर से खेलने की कोशिश थी, लेकिन बल्ले और गेंद के बीच में कोई भी संपर्क नहीं। तो 8 ओवर की समाप्ति हो चुकी है। स्कोर हो गया 71 रन, 4 विकेट के नुकसान पर। अब जो है यहाँ से 17 यानी
bad miss by the keeper there. Diamond delivery before it passed. I make it Wayne Harper into the boundary for 4 byes. 13 required from 10 deliveries.
Yes, we will be collaborating with the Vincy Mass Association, right? And we're going to have some costumes displayed on both Saturday and Sunday. You know, we're going to have some entertainment, and so the energy is going to be, even greater than we have seen throughout the tournament so far, and I'm really looking forward to that. Fans have been calling out, spectators asking, if they could purchase the tickets in advance, and we are saying that, it's probably best if you do so, and to do that you could check the Cricket Association office, secure your tickets in the event that, you want to be in that Force 500 or Force 300, depends on what the COVID-19 task force advises us later on. So, we're looking forward to the weekend. Definitely, cricket is going to be excellent, exciting. I still don't know, are we able to, how many teams have been confirmed so far?
Well, definitely in the semi-finals, we have Lassafire Hikers, we would have the Sarpon Breakers, the Botanical Gardens Rangers are there. So there's one spot yet to be decided today.
Right, so are we... At this point, can we say who is playing who as yet?
No, we can't. That's exactly one of the hallmarks of the competition. Nothing yet decided until the last minute.
Yeah,
magnificent. This is a sunset smasher. Demba onto the president's suite. I believe it's a good thing that the prime minister has left, but this is a huge hit by Demba. He takes the total down to the target down to 6. They need 6 from about. I will get the number of balls for you in a bit. Go ahead, Dr. Shah.
Yeah, and this kind of hitting is what I expect even more on the weekend, and I won't be surprised if a team actually, reaches 150 in the semi-final and the final. That would be some cricket, and I think that is what we want to see. Some great bowling, but we want to see, that bowling being combated with some excellent hitting. Not swinging and swiping, but clean hitting, and I think we have seen that throughout the tournament. I enjoyed watching Dylan Douglas a few days on, Thomas, some youngsters coming through playing good cricket. Chat. I'm sure that some Mike would appreciate those as well. That even if it's T10, you don't have to swing from the hips and wherever else, but stand and balance eyes, balance head, and just hit the ball cleanly. And I think I've been really impressed with a few, especially younger players. Having that balance at the crease. And and Roxy, as I talk about balance, I'm just preparing in my head how I'm going to approach my innings on Sunday.
Well, you better get your helmets and stuff out, because some of these teams have some pace bowlers that they're going to try and pass that ball across your nose. And listen, you know how it is. But I know you've been training.
Yeah, well, I've had 2 knocks in the net so far. I'm hoping not to step too early at the crease though. Ideally coming when some spinners are on, that way I could, move over my front leg and swing for cow corner. You know, with a balance, of course.
Okay.
With the balance. But I mean, seriously, the young players that we have been seeing coming through. Even Obed is still a relatively young player, despite being around for a few years. And even him, you could see how he has progressed throughout the tournament. Obviously, the first few days would have been them, dusting off some rust after being down because of the COVID pandemic and so on. So I'm really happy that all of our players have had that opportunity to get some cricket in. And, we haven't had any serious injury as well.
Well, there's an opportunity here. Two players converge. Catch is taken by what has been one of the safer hands in the competition so far in terms of the catching Romano pair. No, the target is 5 off 1 over, Dr. Shallow.
Wow. At one time, I think at about the 6 over, it was looking a little tricky for the team tracing, but and it just goes to show, this T10 cricket, anything could happen. I mean, 1 over could change an entire outcome of
anything
a match.
could happen. That means let's look at the first 300. Let's say the task force allow us 300 patrons, or the possibility of 300 patrons to the ground on Saturday and Sunday. What's the price, the entry fee, and any specials for me if I decide I should sit in the stand instead of being up here?
No, we need you up here, man. We need you up here, But yeah, the price on Saturday with $25 going to get you, and only $25 get you in to see all the matches. Sunday it is going to be $30 on Sunday. So, I think what persons who have the intention of attending on both days probably could do is I would advise that they go to the office early as possible, today if possible, and secure those tickets, because what we don't want is on Saturday morning or Sunday morning that persons are rushing to get tickets. In terms of, we have to obviously adhere to our protocol in terms of the COVID-19, and we're going to have a cutoff point. And even in terms of ensuring you take your time to space out the 3 feet apart for the persons buying their tickets. What you don't want to do is be at the gate purchasing your ticket while the game is going on, because it's going to be a fairly slow process. So I advise purchase your ticket today. If not possible, then you want to come as early as possible tomorrow morning or Sunday morning and purchase those tickets.
Kamali Williams is on strike. 5 required from 5. 1 diamond delivery to start. This is in the air. Alex Samuel is under it. He takes the catch. A diamond delivery with a wicket. But more importantly, Kenneth Demba gets on strike.
Yes, we were saying that at the end of that last over, when the ball went into the air, that Demba should have remained and the non-strikers, then to ensure that he was on strike for the first delivery of this final over. And we can see the first delivery was a dot delivery, and the second one was another diamond delivery, but more importantly, one that got a wicket. So they still require 5 runs or 4 balls.
Dr. Shallow, can we safely say that at this stage we are still allowed 200? So you could possibly sell 200 tickets at this stage?
Currently we have 200 tickets available in the office, and once we receive the approval from the COVID-19 task force to go ahead, then we obviously going to increase those tickets. But currently it stands at 200.
This one is hitting the pad, but definitely looks as if it was beating the leg stump from here. 1, and I think it's not at all a bad ploy to get Demba off of strike, led by the call. I make it 4-3. 4 runs needed from 3.
बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बने रहने के लिए। अगर आप लोग हमारे साथ अभी जुड़ रहे हैं गाइस, अगर आपने वीडियो को अभी तक लाइक नहीं करा, जल्दी से वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए, और चैनल को अगर आपने अब तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा, जल्दी सब्सक्राइब का जो बटन है उसके ऊपर दबाते रहिए। एसपीबी और डीवी का जो मैच है इसके बाद कुछ ही समय के बाद स्टार्ट होने वाला है, तो आप सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया गाइस, बने रहिए आप लोग हमारे साथ। और अगर आपने चैनल को अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं करा मेरे भाइयों, जल्दी सब्सक्राइब का जो बटन है उसके ऊपर दबाते रहिएगा। फिलहाल अगली गेंद इस बीच, ये गेंद को खेल दिया लेग साइड में आसानी के साथ, एक और सिंगल मिल जाएगा। जी हाँ दोस्तों, इस सिंगल के साथ हम स्कोर की बात करें, स्कोर फिलहाल बढ़कर हो गया है 86 रन। जी हाँ दोस्तों, और आप लोगों को क्या लगता है गाइस, आप लोगों को कौन जीतेगा ये गेंद पर, ये मैच पे? और 4 रन जीतने के लिए चाहिए। ओके ओके, क्या लगता है आप लोगों को? मुझे लगता है ये गेम जो है आसानी के साथ जीत जाएगी। यहाँ पर ये टीम 4 रन मात्र चाहिए। जी हाँ दोस्तों, मात्र 4 रन यहाँ पर आसानी के साथ जीत सकती है टीम। और एसपीबी और जीआरडी का मैच होने वाला, एसपीबी और डीवीई का मैच होने वाला। इसके बाद आप सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, हमारे साथ बने रहिए मेरे भाइयों सभी लोग। अगर आप लोग पहली बार जुड़ रहे हैं हमारे स्ट्रीम पे तो जल्दी से इस वीडियो को लाइक कर दीजिए। अगली गेंद इस बीच, ये गेंद को उठाकर खेलना चाहते थे बल्लेबाज, सामने की तरफ का गेंद, एक और सिंगल, आखिरी गेंद और 3 रन जीतने के चाहिए। वाह गाइस वाह, क्या बात है क्या बात है। आखिरी गेम में देख लेते हैं क्या होता है। आप सभी को बता दो गाइस, जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं, अगर आपने हमारा चैनल को अभी तक सपोर्ट नहीं करा गाइस, जल्दी इस चैनल को सपोर्ट कर दीजिए। पेटीएम, फोन पे, गूगल पे के थ्रू कर सकते हैं आप लोग सपोर्ट। स्क्रीन के ऊपर जो नंबर दिख रहे हैं उन नंबर्स के ऊपर आप लोग कर सकते हैं गाइस सपोर्ट, पेटीएम, फोन पे और गूगल पे के थ्रू। चलो दोस्तों जल्दी जल्दी करते रहो यार, देखते हैं किसका सपोर्ट आता है। चलिए दोस्त, आखिरी गेंद आने वाली है, दो गेंदें हो बाकी हैं और 3 रन जीतने के लिए चाहिए। जल्दी से जल्दी चैनल सब्सक्राइब करते रहो और सपोर्ट करते रहो गाइस। आखिरी गेंद आते वाली, 2 रन चाहिए जीतने के लिए। और राइट आर्म ओवर द विकेट, अंपायर क्रॉस किया। यॉर्कर गति की लेंथ काफी तेजी के साथ भागे हैं और ये मैच यहाँ पर ड्रॉ कर दिया गया। और अनफॉर्चुनेटली ओवर 3 की वजह से अगर हम बात करते हैं यहाँ पे मैच जो है जीत गई है। अपनी गांडू सी आवाज बंद कर, अबे चूतिया पुष्पेंद्र यादव, तेरी गांड को डाल दूंगा, समझा क्या? भाग यहाँ से। अबे सुन पुष्पेंद्र, तेरी माँ अबे तू सुनना चाहता तो बता, मैं सुनाऊं तुझे अच्छे से। फिलहाल आप लोग बता दो यहाँ पर मैच जो यहाँ पर समाप्त हो गया है। जी हाँ दोस्तों, और यहाँ पर मैच की अगर हम बात करते हैं, यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर स्क्रीन के ऊपर काफी खराब यहाँ पे प्रदर्शन इस बल्लेबाज के इनके द्वारा। और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं, अबे सुन पुष्पेंद्र, गांड में डंडा डाल दूंगा, समझा क्या? आप सभी को बता दो गाइज, अगर आप लोगों ने ये मैच में जीता तो आप लोग जरूर हमारे चैनल को सपोर्ट करना गाइज। पेटीएम, फोन पे और गूगल पे के थ्रू कर सकते हैं आप लोग। स्क्रीन के ऊपर आप लोगों को नंबर्स दिख रहे होंगे, उन नंबर्स के ऊपर आप लोग हमारे चैनल को सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। जी हाँ दोस्तों, आइए देखते हैं किस किस का सपोर्ट आने वाला है। फिलहाल आप सभी को बता दो यहाँ पर मैच आप देख सकते हैं स्क्रीन के ऊपर। फिलहाल 88 रनों पे 6 विकेट गिर चुके हैं। जी हाँ, नहीं 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 नहीं, और आखिरी मैच आने वाला है। जी हाँ मेरे भाइयों, आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, बने रहिए आप लोग हमारे साथ। और अगर आप पहली बार जुड़ रहे हैं मेरे भाइयों, जल्दी जल्दी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करते रहो और सपोर्ट करते रहे मेरे भाइयों। पेटीएम, फोन पे का नंबर आपको स्क्रीन के ऊपर दिख रहा होगा भाई, आप लोग देख सकते हैं ऊपर में स्क्रीन पे ऊपर। आप पेटीएम, फोन पे, गूगल पे कर सकते हैं गाइस। जिसको भी करना होगा सपोर्ट, अपना नाम स्क्रीन के ऊपर देखना चाहते हैं गाइस, पेटीएम, फोन पे और गूगल पे के थ्रू कर दो सपोर्ट यार मेरे भाइयों। भाई तहलका गर्म हो रहा गया था, बिल्कुल सही कहा मंजुम अली अंसारी जी। नेक्स्ट मैच होगा मैच जी, बिल्कुल नेक्स्ट मैच भी होगा भाई। आप सभी से बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए हमारे साथ। अगर आप लोग हमारे साथ पहली बार जुड़ रहे हैं गाइस, जल्दी से करो यार, जल्दी से करो मेरे भाई, सपोर्ट करो मेरे भाइयों। सपोर्ट का जो बटन है उसके ऊपर दबाते रहो, पेटीएम, फोन पे और गूगल पे के थ्रू करते रहो यार। मैच जो यहाँ पर समाप्त हो चुका है। जी हाँ मेरे भाइयों, मैच यहाँ पर समाप्त हो चुका है और बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बने रहने के लिए। पहली बार अगर आप लोग हमारे नवीन भाई क्या हो गया भाई, इंग्लिश कमेंट्री सही था? अरे अनिल कुमार जी, इतनी सही थी तो भाई इंग्लिश कमेंट्री सुन लो ना मेरे भाई, तो फिर क्या कर रहे हो हिंदी कमेंट्री सुनने के लिए? एसपीबी वर्सेस डीवीई। जी हाँ दोस्तों, एसपीबी और डीवीई का मैच खेला जाने वाला है। एसपीबी और डीवीई अब से स्टार्ट होने वाला है, अब से कुछ ही समय के बाद। सेटिंग गेम था क्या भाई? बिल्कुल मुझे भी लग रहा भाई सेटिंग गेम ही था भाई। कौन मैच जीता? अरे भाई जो दूसरी टीम बैटिंग कर रही थी वो जीत गई भाई मुझे लगा नहीं था कि वो टीम जीत पाएगी, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली जीत गई भाई। जीत गई तो जीत गई, क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें। आप सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया मेरे भाइयों, जो भी लोग बने हुए हमारे साथ। अगर आप लोग पहली बार जुड़ रहे हैं, जल्दी जल्दी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब का जो बटन है उसके ऊपर दबाते रहो। जी हाँ, मैं हूँ खलनायक। ना 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 ना। चलिए गाइस, अगले मैच के ऊपर हम आपको लेकर चलते हैं सीधा। जी हाँ, आप सभी को बता दो जितने भी लोग हमारे साथ बने हुए हैं फिलहाल। नहीं नहीं, क्या लगता है आपको अगला मैच कौन जीतेगा गाइस? अगले मैच बस स्ट्रीमिंग स्टार्ट करने वाले हैं हम आप लोगों के लिए। चलिए आइए लेकर चलते हैं अगले मैच के ऊपर। तब तक और मैच की बात करते हैं, यहाँ पर मैच जो है बस स्टार्ट होने वाला ही है, कुछ समय और गाइस। जी हाँ, SPB और DVE, जी हाँ SPB और DVE का मैच आने वाला है। आप लोगों को बता दूँ, बने रहो गाइस, बने रहो 25वां मैच आने वाला है यहाँ पर। जी हाँ 25th मैच आने वाला है। और पेटीएम फ़ोन पे जो भी मैच जीता हो गाइस वो यार 15-20 रुपये भेज दो भाई। चैनल पे सपोर्ट करते रहो मेरे भाइयों, अगर आपने सपोर्ट नहीं करा तो चैनल को सपोर्ट करो गाइस। आप भी बहुत सारे पैसे जीतोगे मेरे भाइयों, जितने भी लोग देख रहे हैं। अगर चैनल को सपोर्ट नहीं करो तो बहुत सारा हारोगे आप सभी को बता दूँ। इसलिए यार चैनल को सपोर्ट करते रहिए और आप लखपति बन जाएंगे मेरे भाई। जीतेंगे, इतना जीतेंगे भाई, इतना जीतेंगे, इतना जीतेंगे, इतना जीतेंगे, कोई रोक नहीं सकता आपको, कोई नहीं रोक पाएगा सेल्फ पॉइंट जीती, बिल्कुल सही कहा भाई, सेल्फ पॉइंट जीती मेरे भाई। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया भाई आपका बताने के लिए हमारे चैनल को। एडमिन की मौकी, चिराग सहगल की मौकी, आंख भोसड़ी के चिराग की तेरी मौकी। चंदन भाई हैं, अरे बिल्कुल विकास भाई, क्या हाल है भाई आपके? सुनील लामप्रेस नीट पार्टनरशिप, बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली सही कहा आपने भाई। रिपोर्ट आया हमको टेलीग्राम पर, रेंजर्स विन करेगी। ओके भाई, ये सहगल को माँ की आँख भोसड़ा, चिराग सहगल की माँ की बहुत बड़ा वाला, क्या बताऊं, बहुत बड़ा वाला चूतिया साला, तेरी माँ का भैंसड़ा गाली देता है इधर मातर, क्या बताऊं। चिराग सहगल गाली देगा ना तेरी माँ को, गाली देना तो अपनी माँ को जाके गाली दियो, समझा क्या? यहाँ पर गाली देने बैठा मत कर गाली, अगर तुझे देनी है तो, समझा? नहीं समझा तो बोल, मैं समझाऊँ क्या? आप सभी को बता दो, फिलहाल आप लोग बता दो अगला मैच आने वाला है गाइस। जी हाँ, बस कुछ ही समय में टॉस भाई हम लेकर आ रहे हैं भाई। टेंशन मत करो मेरे भाई, टेंशन मत करो, टेंशन बिल्कुल नहीं लेने का भाई, टेंशन बिल्कुल लेने का नहीं, क्योंकि मैच जो है आपको आने वाला है नेक्स्ट मैच। और आप सभी से रिक्वेस्ट है मेरे भाइयों, जल्दी जल्दी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करते रहिए अगर आप लोगों ने अभी तक नहीं करा है तो। और नेक्स्ट मैच बस आने वाला ही है, मैंने एंड में यही बोला था, 30 मिनट का ब्रेक ही देगा। फिलहाल नेक्स्ट मैच आने वाली है गाइस बस 2 मिनट के अंदर। और आप सभी का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमारे साथ बने रहने के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर वाचिंग द स्ट्रीम। ओके, तो आइए मैच के ऊपर लेकर चलते हैं। जी हाँ, और
Excitement, yes. This is the 8th of the Vincy Premier League T10 competition. We have match 3 for you, and boy, I tell you, match 2 was tremendous. I know these two teams are going to fight tooth and nail in this match 3. We have the Dark View Explorers against the Salt Pond Breakers. Let's see who has the coin for this toss. Sunil Lambris of the Salt Pond Breakers, he has the coin. Let's go ahead with the toss.
सहगल जैसे कुत्ते आते रहेंगे और भौंकते रहेंगे। सहगल क्या करेगा?
Heads the toss. Lyndon James has won the toss.
We'll be feeling first today.
अरे नहीं यार, न्यू चैनल नहीं है। Thank you so much,
Wicket looked pretty good. I mean, we had a nice chilling game just now, so and we have to, our team have to win today to actually qualify. So I think playing from behind will give my team the opportunity to come out victorious today.
Some extra pressure, do or die situation. Are your players ready for this?
Yes, I spoke to the guy. We made a few changes in our team. We've been playing good cricket. We're just not getting the wins behind our name. You understand? And I believe it's due time that we get the runs on the board and back our bowlers to defend it.
All the best to you and Dark View Explorers.
Thank you.
Sunil,
नहीं तो समझ नहीं रहा मैं क्या करूंगा फिर।
You've been asked to bat first. You and your Salt Pond Breakers, you've been asked to bat first. Was that what you wanted to do?
Yes, exactly. That's what we wanted to do. We've been batting well, so we're going to have to put a big score on the board and go and defend it in the end.
Second question, the last couple of games have been very, very close. Has the other teams gotten the measure of Salt Pond Breakers?
I wouldn't want to believe so. I think we are still playing the best cricket in the tournament and still very confident in the dressing room.
All right, well, all the best and let's have a good game.
Thank you.
So from the middle, match 3 on match day 8, Lyndon James and the Dark View Explorers, they've won the toss and they're gonna field first.
और अगला मैच जो है बस आने वाला ही है, आप लोगों को बता दूं, दूसरा मैच हम आप लोगों को